First Baptist Church, founded in 1826 in Toronto by 12 fugitive slaves seeking freedom. They arrived on the Underground Railroad a few years shy of August 1st, 1834, the day slavery was abolished across the British Empire, including Canada, a day historian Rosemary Sadler says Canadians still know very little about.
On the lands that we now call Canada, slavery began in 1628, the enslavement of Africans. It did not end until August 1st, 1834.
The passing of the Abolition Act freed over 800,000 people across the Caribbean, South Africa, and in Canada, initiating Emancipation Day celebrations in places like Windsor, St. Catharines, Amherstburg, and Toronto.
Initially, it was about perhaps more identity building and celebration, but it also took on an element of advocacy for the end of slavery, because slavery here was over.
Because slavery wasn't over for everyone. The U.S. would wait 30 more years before ending the practice, during which time tens of thousands fled to Canada to taste emancipation. On their journey to freedom, many African Americans would stop and settle here in Owen Sound, the northernmost part of the Underground Railroad. The courage and experiences of these pioneers are commemorated here in Harrison Park. Where's that one from?
That's an old slave song. Swing low, sweet chariot.
Many of them came up the Bruce Trail, and they ended up coming right here to the northern terminus, or the Cairn.
In Owen Sound, Emancipation Day has been celebrated for 160 years, the longest in North America. Jeffrey Smith, a descendant of former slaves who settled here, says it all started with a family picnic by this freedom seeker, Father Miller.
And this is where they met every year in Harrison Park. It was all about a gathering of togetherness and celebration. We are now free. We are now emancipated.
Today, Emancipation Day celebrations continue around the world, with carnival festivals in the Caribbean and here in Canada, all rooted in August 1st. But despite its long history in Canada, only recently did the country formally recognize the day. In March 2021, the House of Commons voted unanimously to designate August 1st Emancipation Day nationally. A descendant of freedom seekers herself, Rosemary, who played an instrumental role in the passing of the motion, says Emancipation Day is just as relevant to Canadians now as it was then.
I think that it's also a time not only of reflection, but also a time of planning for what other things we need to do to make things better for ourselves and for coming generations, for Black people and for all Canadians. Because what makes things better for Black people ultimately makes things better for the entire society.
Kayla McLean, Global News.